is time. One, because building a house, we basically build a house in 4.5 days. And the only way you really realize that is if you watch the local news. They'll show you from start to finish. That alone is just insane. Anyone who's ever built a house knows that the quality of homes that we build, too, we're not talking about just the Hollywood facade here. We're talking about, like, tile work, and, like, it's pretty incredible. For me, though, I have to spend time on the computer to get it laid out exactly right so that not only everyone that I'm working with on my team knows exactly what I want, but also me, because I'm a control freak. Those people think that I'm just like the happy-go-lucky guy who's swinging a megaphone that's like, hey, let's tear down something. Who knows what's going to happen? But the truth of it is, I'm like making sure things are exactly where they need to be. I've got a shop in Hollywood, in Atlanta, where the CNC router, where I'm usually making one-of-a-kind things that are being either shipped out or whatever, and we put it together there. Some stuff is custom-made right there. But I also do 2 shows at the same time, so I have to balance, which is also great, to stay focused on exactly what I'm doing and who I'm doing it for. But the biggest challenge is really the focus, and that's something I've been challenged with since I was a kid. The fact that I would be working with power tools that have sharp blades, the fact that I would be, trying to organize hundreds of people, sometimes thousands of people to get any one thing done, and of course, still have all my philanthropies and metacarpals would be pretty impressive to my parents. I know that. So, but my biggest challenge is staying focused and being able to really mark things off the list, but also not lose the fun side of life. It's like, I think what I've learned is that, especially since I've been working non-stop for so long, is that you also have to enjoy what the hell you do. Otherwise, you are going to be miserable. The point, luckily for me, I found a creative outlet, but I also get to do good things and see a positive reaction. What better satisfaction do you have in doing what you do when you really get immediate gratification when someone sees, their life-changing moment? So, in that sense, that's what's my motivation. That's what keeps me going. But the biggest challenges are something I've had, like, since childhood, which is just staying focused and not getting lost in all the chaos. But I think it's the same thing I've had when I was a kid. It's the one thing I focus on in the creative process, the creative outlet. And the more challenges that seem to be thrown at me, the better I seem to get. So I'm either, I don't know, it's like the harder I work, the luckier I seem to be. It's a really weird thing, but I know that hard work does pay off. That's a sure thing.
Well, I know, our audience certainly, as I said, as direct marketers can relate so much to what you described, because the issues of design and focus and being relevant and really designing something unique for someone and overcoming obstacles that are creative people, the people that have to put the campaigns together, finding the right databases to work with, running maybe multiple programs at the same time, and being distracted by a lot of things. And so focus is an issue that we all have to deal with, and I really do believe that there's a great to learn from what you do in reality. And so much comes from the good that you do every week. I look at those shows, preparing for today to look back and look at some of the reels of things that I might have missed over a couple of seasons, and I've got to tell you the positive impact that you're having. So I've got to ask one wrap-up question, which is, what do you want to do next? What's the next chapter of your life like? You're making so much difference now. You've done so much. You do so much good for so many people every week. Where do you go from here?
It's a good question. I'm gonna say one thing and then I'll answer that question. That'll give me my subconscious time to actually think. But because I know you guys are in advertising and marketing, I want to share one story with you guys. Because as a graphic designer, I went to a couple of schools. I had to work during the day, so I snuck in. I went to like an okay school, but I sneaked in and used the equipment at a really good school and used all their books. But my point is I ended up landing a job in graphic design. I won some awards. We got to be a pretty good name in Atlanta. But then I went and interviewed with JWT out here in Wisconsin. And I had this graphic design book, and I remember sitting down with this guy. And he looked at my book and he goes, "You got a really good book, man. Very strong. Really good at what you do. It's awesome. Why are you here?" And I said, "I want to get into advertising." He goes, "Are you kidding me? You want to get into advertising?" He goes, "You got a strong book. You're obviously getting work. Why would you want to do that?" I said, "I don't know. It seems like it'd be fun." And he said, "Do me a favor, get out of my office right now." He goes, "Save yourself from advertising." He goes, "You make something look good." He goes, "We have to sell a product." He goes, "It's 2 different things." He goes, "Enjoy what you're doing. You seem happy." And he goes, "Trust me, you're going to thank me later." And I was like, wow. I don't know if that was a good interview or a bad interview. Well, come to think of it, probably the best decision I ever made was actually just to walk out of there. But I just know that you guys have, that is, no one understands the amount, and I do understand working with a client and how frustrating that can be when they get involved. Oh boy. So I just want you to know I feel your pain because I've lived through that, and the fact that what's great about my job now is I really don't have. In many ways, it's what I deal with my partners, that I do have the challenges of that and dealing with the buyers and dealing with, let's just say, the more conservative element of advertising and design. And that's where you have to do the give and take and say, well, we don't feel strong about this. And you're like, well, we don't feel that way. And you're like, okay. But it's about believing in each other and coming to a happy medium. So that's the only thing I wanted to share with you. I do understand a little bit about the whole process. Now, to answer your question, because it was still turning in the background, what do I want to? You know what? I think we've just honestly, I think I've just scratched the surface on what can be done out there. I've been able to witness incredible things in the sense of human spirit. Our show is only 40 minutes, okay, and we have to get in so many things that have to do with corporate sponsorship, telling the story of the family. We don't have time to really get into details of things that really happen out there in the process. And what I'm talking about is volunteers that show up for 4 hours and then stay for 5 days. And what I see is a human spirit of people that want to do good things. They do not want credit. I've had people show up on our set that just are on their family vacation but thought they would just spend 2 days helping build a house for family. What I'm saying is I think we've gotten into something that the American dream, the human spirit of not only do we all want to succeed, but we also don't mind helping one another in the process when somebody else is in need. And I think when you see something like a training, when you see other things like that, you see humans coming together for each other because we realize really the only thing we have is that we don't work together. And I think considering what the economy is going through right now too, you're going to have to see that again too, that we're going to have to work together. People are going to have to get along, we're going to have to make it work. And I think in the future what I'd like to do is see, do projects where communities do come together and make what whatever we share, make it work together so that we can make a better environment that we all live in. And so that's what I see in the future. I mean, honestly, when you talk about people who do good things and didn't win any credit for it, like a guy like Paul Newman, I mean, how can none of us not walk in that shadow and go the guy who got no credit did so many good things that no one even realized how much he did, and I think if there are people out there that, because we're celebrities, we can, let's say, focus attention on things, but I think the future is unknown, I hope I continue doing what I'm doing because I know at least that is good and I can be proud of that. I hope the scale gets bigger, and I think there's so many things we can do not only nationwide but worldwide.
Well, Ty, let me tell you, you've been an absolute inspiration to all of us. We talked this morning about strength and unity. You're just talking about people coming together to do good things. We'll be continuing to watch you do good things, and we'll love to help you in any way we can. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darryl.